Hi, welcome back for some more IEP basics. I wanted to talk about the meeting today, and you're probably wondering, why is she doing this? This is torture. I can't take it. I'm turning it off immediately. But what my goal is to give us a common base of understanding and knowledge, so we all know where we're coming from, what we're doing, everybody's on the same page. So that's my goal. If you work with me, you recognize this. This is our agenda that we use at our IEP meetings, and I thought a good way to start to go through the meeting, what we do at a meeting. If you've never been before, a lot of brand new teachers, we can tell you what to do at a meeting, what we're going to do, what happens, but until you're in it, you really don't know. We can have pretend meetings and sample meetings and play it out, but until you're in there, you don't know. So I just want to review what happens at a meeting, basic knowledge if you don't know, if you're new, if you do know and you need a reminder. Anyway, start with the agenda. First thing is always welcome and introductions. The super important part, we always need to make sure everybody is welcome at that meeting. Whoever the parent brings, whoever we bring, whoever we have should be welcome at the meeting. So anyway, so we want to introduce everyone, your name, your title. We need directory information correct. We need to make sure that we have your correct address, phone number, so we can contact you, to make sure we pick your child up at the right place and all that information is correct. Purpose of the meeting is, why are we here? That whoever's leading the meeting, the facilitator, which was often my role as a program specialist, it could be the school psychologist, the teacher. Usually the teacher runs it if it's just a casual meeting, not a casual meeting, but not so many people. There's not a program specialist there, a facilitator. It's just a regular meeting. It'll often be the teacher. State the purpose of the meeting. This is an annual. We're going to be reviewing progress on goals. This is a try. We're going to be reviewing report information, initial report information. Anyway, procedural safeguards. What are the parents? We want to give them a copy and make sure they have a copy of their procedural safeguards. Do you have any questions? Always ask if the parent has questions. We want to know. I always start with student strengths once we get into the meat of the meeting, and I want to start on a positive note. So I always try to ask the parent, ask everyone at the table who knows the child, what are the strengths of this student? Every child, regardless of the disability or the need or whatever, has strengths. We want to know what they are. Parent concerns is where I go next. This is parent concerns, not concerns of every member of the team. I've been at meetings where every member of the team, including the parent, everybody's saying their concerns at this point. That's not the place for that. This is the parent's point to say, what do you need? What do I need as a parent? What do I want to know? We find out information and say, parent, we may not get to that exactly right at the first minute, but during the course of the IEP, you don't need to start a conversation right there. Get the concerns, write them in the notes, note them on a piece of paper, but they need to go into the notes. But if you're part of the team, and get to those points by the end of the meeting, and you have those to look at. Did we cover everything? The first part of the meat of the goal will start out with progress on goals and review of their previous goals. What are we doing? Where is the child? Where are they now? Did they meet their goals, not meet their goals? We want to go just get that process going, get that information out there. How are they doing in class? After we do that, if it's a try or an initial, there's going to be reports. So whatever was assessed, speech, OT, APE, whatever was assessed, or whatever services that student has, will now be, those reports will go through them. Eligibility is determined by looking at these reports from all the different specialists at an initial, at a try. We want to see, does that eligibility still fit or not? sometimes that eligibility will change from one try to the next, especially if your child is young and things become different. Don't be surprised if at the meeting the assessors say, well, they have a new disability, or we're going to look at this disability or that disability and add it, or they might go for it just depends. There's so many different options, so I'll just leave it at that. And I'm going to do a whole thing on eligibility, the different eligibilities, how we get there. There's ed code for all of that. Next thing we're going to do is make new goals, set up new goals. We're going to discuss the placement and the services where these goals can be met. So if they have a couple of goals, 2 or 3, maybe academic goals, no behavioral, nothing else going on, they're probably going to be like in the resource program, perhaps. I'm not saying anything is set. They have a whole bunch of goals and they need lots of support, then we're going to need to look at an environment where that can be met. So the goals are going to drive the placement and services. We're going to, after all that's determined, we'll review the other sections. For example, the testing, how is your student going to be tested for the state testing? Then we'll have the district offer of FAPE. What's that? Free, appropriate public education. What is the district going to do? That will include the placement specifically. Special day class, X amount of minutes. Mainstreaming for general ed, X amount of minutes. Speech and language, X. So that's going to be very specific. We're going to read the minutes. We'll adjourn the meeting after the notes are read. All set. Be sure and walk the parent up to the office or wherever. Be friendly, kind. We have to work together. No matter how contentious the meeting was. This is just a casual healing time, walking together. Don't snub them. They shouldn't snub you, regardless of what happened at the meeting. Just move forward and just have a casual conversation. What about this crazy weather or whatever. Also provide a copy of the IEP at the end of the meeting. Really important. Things can get muddy if you don't give them the IEP right away. It's very important. At least, at the very minimum, give them the notes page. For sure, that should, when it was read, we would have reviewed those, made sure everybody had everything was correct and the input and all of that. Anyway, thank you for coming back again. We'll see you next time. Bye.